Gekkeikan might be one of the most recognizable bottles of sake by Americans, but is it actually bad? Or is it just built for a completely different job than premium sake? Today, I'm tasting this bottle chilled at room temperature and it's hot sake to let you know where this bottle tastes the best. All right, so here's my answer up front. Like a lot of things, it depends. And at this price, that's not even a criticism. Gekkeikan is very inexpensive, it's easy to find, and it just works in a lot of different situations. The real question isn't whether it can actually outperform a premium bottle of sake. I'm not even gonna try and play that game. The question is there a space in which this specific bottle actually shines and makes sense given how inexpensive it is and how available it is? But before we figure that out, let's talk about why this bottle is actually more special than people realize. Gekkeikan as a brewery was actually founded in Fushimi, Kyoto in 1637. The company actually began brewing in Folsom, California in 1989, which explains why this bottle is just so common in the United States today. For a lot of people, this isn't the culmination of their sake journey. This is the bottle that they've seen everywhere from the grocery store, from the local sushi spot, and really, honestly, even at some gas stations. And while it'd be easy to completely write this bottle off, I think that makes it worth reviewing in and of itself. So let's talk about what's actually in this bottle. Fortunately for me, the basics are simple. This is a Junmai, so that means it's not made with any distiller's alcohol. It's just made with water, rice, yeast, and koji mold. The rice used to make this sake has actually been polished down to 70%, so 30% has been polished away, which puts this technically in Fusushu territory. It has an ABV of 14.6% and it is brewed, as I already stated, in Folsom, California, at least, if you're buying it here in the United States. Like with a lot of things that come down to the doll hairs, price can vary, but you can generally find this from $6 to $12, which, you just can't beat that for a 750 milliliter bottle of sake. And unfortunately, that leads me to the next point in this video, which is the reputation. And I say that because unfortunately, Gekkeikan gets dismissed as cheap sake. And yes, I guess definitionally it is cheap sake in the $6 to $12 range, yes. But fortunately, however, price is not something that shows up on the palate. A very, very fairly priced, very, very findable bottle of sake can still do a pretty good job at doing what it's supposed to do, especially when you're not going into it trying to compare it to something that's like 3 or 4 times more expensive than this bottle. At this price range, it is very, very easy to just take this on a whim and see at different temperatures which way you can actually get the most out of this very approachable and easy to find bottle. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. All right, so we're gonna try this bottle of Gekkeikan at 3 different temperatures. I'm gonna let you know my thoughts on each one, and we're gonna try and figure out which is actually the best way to enjoy this bottle. And who knows, it could be all 3. I personally have not tried this bottle in quite a bit of years. I didn't even dabble in it before this video started, so you're gonna get my raw, actual reaction after. I've really tried a lot of bottles of sake, really quality bottles of sake, since the last time I even picked up one of these. So this is gonna be an interesting experience for you all watching and for me, because like I said, I just haven't had this in a while. And I remember when I first started drinking this, I thought it was nothing wrong with, so I'm curious. But we have, as you can see, the very chilled pour over here. Then we have the room temperature, and then I'm gonna pour from the carafe, and it should still be sitting at about 50 degrees Celsius or so. That's what it got heated up to. I'll pour that one into this Ginomi, I think that's what it's called. I'll pour that one in here, and that'll be the hot sake. So without further ado, let's start with the chilled, and this is super chilled. I actually had this in the freezer to try and get this, doing something at 3 different temperatures in this kind of situation is a little tricky. So I had this in the freezer, so you can probably see a bit there. I got it a little solid because I had it in the freezer so long. But yeah, still chilled, definitely chilled. But because this is the first sip of sake. This is the obligatory kanpai, and I will give you my thoughts on the chilled Gekkeikan. So not bad. I'll be honest. I know with this being a Junmai with a very high polishing ratio, I was expecting this to be a bit, especially at the chilled temperature. I was expecting this to be a bit more of like a kind of hunker down and get through it pour, but it wasn't like. And honestly, I've never had it like borderline, like almost getting to like that slushy kind of chill. But this actually isn't bad. It's got that body on it for sure, with it being a Junmai with that 70% polish ratio. You can see it's already starting to melt a bit because of that heat from my hands. But it's got that 70% polishing ratio. The body on it is good. It's a very like crushable, like you're just chilling out with the crew. Like it's nothing wrong here. And the aroma, not a whole lot. I'll be honest. Not a whole lot on the nose. Yeah, not bad. It's clean. It's clean. It's simple. You do get more on the nose at the room temperature. You know what? I'll say the flavor profile on this is better as well. So, especially going from the chill to the room temperature, the note is still the same. Like it still has the same taste. It's just I think combining the taste of this with the body, I think it just makes for a better drinking experience, at least just for me. Yeah, I mean, and at this polishing ratio, you're getting all, like, pretty much all umami. Not really any fruity notes on either one of these. But let's go ahead and give the heated Gekkeikan a try. You still see the steam coming off that thing. I don't know if you can or not. It's gotta block my face. Maybe not. Anyway, I can see the steam. And it is carrying the aroma with it for sure. Like you're getting a bit of that like rice note, umami. I don't know what I would call it. It's a pleasant smell. It's definitely on the more umami side than like I said, anything like fruit leaning or sweet. Like it's not sweet leaning at all on the nose. But let's go ahead and get this down the hatch. Hot sake of the Gekkeikan variety. This, what I would say, is probably the biggest departure of those two. Like the taste profile is still pretty much the same, but there is a little extra something there. And clearly the heat woke up something in this bottle. I still say the room temperature is definitely doable. I don't think the chilled is bad either. But I think this is also like equally like doable. I mean, obviously there's the, just the prep of like heating up some boiling water to sit this in, but I think this is worth like, the time it takes to heat up some sake. Yeah, I can't be mad at that. It's not bad, not bad, especially for like me not having this in quite a while. I'm honestly like pleasantly surprised with like how this actually tastes, given like how cheap it is and what I know that I've personally gotten over at this point over the tens of multiple dozens of bottles of sake that I've had at this point. Yeah, I thought it would be a much harder drinking experience. All right, so now that we have the testing done, what is my final verdict? It depends, just like I said at the beginning of the video. It just makes sense if you want a very accessible, very inexpensive bottle of sake that you can have pretty much at the ready to just, try at different temperatures, or to just, bust out when you got a group of friends coming over. Obviously, this also means that if you're looking for something special, if you want something to wow your friends or show that you're so sophisticated when it comes to sake, this bottle isn't going to be the one you go to for that. It doesn't have these very enticing or interesting aromatics or some very complex or nuanced flavor profile either. And honestly, if you really want that experience, you're gonna have to pay significantly more than the cost of this bottle, because there's really nothing one for one to just swap this out for that's significantly better, or more importantly, more significantly available than this bottle. And that's just how the game goes, baby. But seriously, I do want to drive home that this is something I genuinely feel about this bottle. I'd rather have a $10 bottle that I can always reliably find, and definitely more than likely always reliably afford, that I can share with a group of friends at any given time, or just with one other friend when they need to call me up in the middle of the night or whenever, versus a $200 bottle that I have to order online, or that I'm drinking by myself because I just can't waste this on somebody that doesn't appreciate sake the way I do. The most memorable bottle of sake isn't honestly always the most expensive one. Sometimes it's just the one that you can reliably have, and you are able to share moments in life with people over these bottles. And just because of the price and availability, a lot of times Gekkeikan is going to be the bottle that fits the bill. And for some people, it is that gateway bottle that was that inexpensive, let me just take a leap of faith and see if sake is something that I'm into, that was at least a thing to kind of take them from 0 to 1, which in most things is the most important step. So to be that bottle that's always reliably there, that is a job that is needed within sake. And as of right now in the United States, no bottle of sake is doing that job better than Gekkeikan. But I would like to know, have you tried Gekkeikan already? And if you have, what were your thoughts? Did it change your thoughts on sake? Was it your gateway bottle, or did it completely turn you off from sake until you're able to find something better? And if you do actually enjoy it, what temperature is your kind of preferred way? Is it chilled, room temperature, or as hot sake? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will read them all. I'm doing better at actually reading the few comments that I've gotten at this point. And let me know if there's any other bottles you actually want to see me review in future videos. But speaking of future videos, if you want to see me in stores and how I actually go about picking bottles of sake, whether it's the ones that I've actually already tried or ones that I'm just curious of, I'll be taking you in the store with me and show you how I pick bottles of sake. So be on the lookout for that video coming up next after this one. But until then, that's the end of the video. So if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and until the next one, we'll keep learning, we'll keep sipping. Kanpai.